All right, let's get into this. The speed that AI is moving at, it just feels, well, relentless, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like 1 minute it's basic text, the next it's changing, fundamentally changing how businesses do marketing, how we get financial advice, even just how we look stuff up online.
Yeah, it's a lot. Feels like a new headline, a new tool every single day almost.
And honestly, if you're running a business or, just trying to keep up professionally, that pace, it
Mhm.
can feel pretty overwhelming.
It really can. And sorting through that flood, trying to find what's actually useful, what's practical for you,
Yeah.
that's the real challenge, I think.
That brings us right to our source material for this deep dive. Today, we're going to try and cut through some of that noise. We're diving into the May 28th issue of the AI Trends and Insights for Business newsletter.
Right. And this newsletter, it's specifically put together for small businesses, entrepreneurs, professionals who are busy. The whole point is to give actionable insights, practical tips.
Exactly what it says on the tin,
Uh,
basically.
yeah, precisely. Without the information overload, without the, super deep technical jargon, it's meant to be a focused, sort of curated update to get you up to speed fast.
And importantly, they mentioned right there in the issue, it's a free newsletter. That's huge.
Absolutely.
So our mission here really is to walk you through this issue, the May 28th one. We want to pull out the most important bits, the strategies you might use, the key trends that seem to matter right now, tools worth a look, maybe some opportunities they point out.
Yeah, let's unpack this specific edition. Okay, so where should we start? Maybe with something immediately practical.
Good idea.
This issue, like their others, has this prompt share section. It's designed to be something you can, grab and use with AI pretty much straight away.
And this week, the focus is on something a lot of businesses wrestle with, right? Making Facebook posts that actually, engage people, using AI for that.
Exactly. But what's smart about it, and you kind of hinted at this, the prompt isn't just, hey, AI, write a post. It's built around a strategy, a quite detailed one, actually.
Yeah. Right. It's got this framework embedded in it.
Yeah, the prompt itself tells the AI to act like a viral marketing expert, and it gives it specific strategic points to follow when it generates the post. So you're not just getting words.
You're getting words shaped by a strategic mindset.
Precisely. It's got instructions built in.
Yeah, I was looking at those points. Things like know your audience, be authentic and unique, use storytelling, think about visuals, use SEO and hashtags, think about repurposing it later.
Align it with performance metrics like likes and shares. Keep it consistent with the brand, but also fresh. It covers a lot.
It's like they've baked a good social media strategy right into the input for the AI.
Exactly. So if you're juggling marketing with, everything else in a small business, this is a shortcut. Not just to writing something, but to writing something strategically sound based on what these guys know works.
Yeah, takes some of the heavy lifting out of starting from a blank page. And they mention you can join the conversation in their Facebook group too, right? AI trends, tips, tools, and insights for business.
That's the one. So that prompt is a really solid, actionable piece right there at the start.
Definitely. Okay, so moving beyond that immediate tip-off, the main part of the issue really digs into key trends through different articles. And the range is pretty broad, seems relevant for that business audience.
Yeah, it covers a fair bit of ground.
So let's maybe pull out some of the big themes.
Mhm.
A major one, obviously, is AI in marketing and content creation, especially for smaller businesses. They have articles like how to use AI for small business marketing and how AI is shaping the future of content creation on social media.
And what really comes through there is how they frame AI as this almost an equalizer, a tool to help smaller players keep up with the big guys who have more resources.
Yeah, they acknowledge that resource gap. They talk a lot about automating the repetitive stuff, right? The grunt work of marketing, as they put it.
Right. Which frees up people's time for more strategic things. But it's also about insights using AI to analyze customer data better, personalize campaigns in a way that'd be, frankly, impossible manually for a small team.
They use this analogy, like AI being a trusty friend or the ultimate shortcut for social media's demands. Helps with the grunt work, sparks ideas. And that statistic they mention, nearly half of marketers feeling stretched thin.
Yeah, that hits home. It really shows the need for this kind of help. It's efficiency, but it's also about avoiding burnout, enabling growth.
And it's not just writing copy. They talk about AI tools analyzing performance data, automating email sequences, scheduling posts, personalizing content on the fly, even predicting trends. It learns.
That learning and personalizing part, especially at scale, That's huge. It means a small business could potentially offer a marketing experience that feels way more sophisticated than its size might suggest.
Okay, another really interesting thing that pops up in several articles, titles like Empathy at Scale, How AI is Reshaping the Workforce, The Future of Financial Advice. It's this idea of AI blending with human skills, not just replacing.
That's such an important point because, the fear of AI taking jobs is always there. But the newsletter's angle seems much more focused on reshaping roles, enhancing what people can do.
Like that empathy at scale idea in sales and marketing. AI handles the first line stuff, the common questions, basic support,
Right, the repetitive interactions.
which then frees up the human team for the really high value, complex relationship building, the stuff that needs real human nuance.
And they cite that Qualcomm Institute study that was fascinating, where chatbot responses were rated surprisingly high on empathy, sometimes even more so than physicians in that specific study context.
Yeah, that kind of flips the script on what we assume AI can and can't do, doesn't it?
It suggests AI could provide a consistent baseline of helpful, maybe even empathetic interaction across tons of touchpoints, something humans might struggle with consistently at scale.
And in finance, same idea. AI isn't the advisor, it's the powerful magnifier. Helps advisors analyze data, manage portfolios, personalize advice. They call it a bionic approach.
AI-powered human advisors. And those numbers, 73% of firms already using AI, 65% expecting it to transform client relationships, show this isn't some far-off future thing. It's happening now.
Then there's that Samsara R&D example with trucking. AI isn't replacing drivers, it's being used to tackle industry problems like the driver shortage, the aging workforce.
By improving safety, efficiency, driver wellness, it's augmenting the existing workforce, solving real problems.
Yeah, that theme of augmentation, humans plus AI, that feels like a really key takeaway for any business owner listening and thinking about how to bring AI in.
Definitely.
Okay, building on that idea of adapting, there's a crucial article on how to get found in an AI-first world. This feels massive because search itself is changing so fast because of AI.
Oh, absolutely. This one highlights a really fundamental shift. For years, SEO was all about getting high up on that list of Google results.
Ranking number one or close to it.
But now, with AI like ChatGPT and Google's own Gemini being built into search, people are getting direct answers more often. Answers compiled by the AI, not just a list of links.
So the game changes. It's not just being on the list. It's about getting your content cited or included in the AI's answer.
Exactly. And the article explains what the AI looks for. Clarity, authority, that schema structure.
Which is basically code that helps the machine understand what's on your page, right? Like this is a recipe, this is an address, this is a price.
Precisely. Helps the AI make sense of it. It also looks for how often you're cited elsewhere, the depth and freshness of your content. The key phrase they used was something like, AI is assembling answers, not showing options.
That really clicks. So businesses need this citation-ready content. Content that's organized, answers questions directly, uses that schema markup, seems credible, stays up to date.
Because if your site is confusing for an AI to read, it might just get skipped over when it puts together that answer.
And this hits local businesses hard, potentially. Their spot on the map pack might not matter as much if the user gets a spoken AI summary instead.
Right. The article stresses standardizing NAP data, name, address, phone number, using local schema, making landing pages really clear and structured for AI. And building that local authority, getting mentioned elsewhere locally, becomes even more vital.
The action steps seem practical. Audit your content for AI readability, build trust signals, get mentioned in industry sites, maybe podcasts, other credible places, and really prioritize fresh, deep content that shows your expertise.
It's still SEO, but through a different lens, through the lens of how a machine digests information, making your expertise machine readable, basically.
Makes sense. Okay, the issue also gives us a peek at the cutting edge. Updates on the latest AI tools, models. It shows just how fast the tech itself is moving.
Yeah, some big announcements covered there. Google I/O featured heavily. They talked about Imagen 4, their updated image generator, better text on images, multilingual, and VO3.
The video one.
Yeah, video generation, but crucially, with sound and speech included, that makes the output feel much more complete, more dynamic.
Video with sound. That's a big step for content creators.
For sure. And Lyria 2 for AI music generation. Already being used, apparently, letting people customize music.
And Google Search itself is getting major upgrades. An AI mode turning search into more of an interactive assistant.
Right. Using multimodal input text, voice, images together. Features like query fan-out for broader results, deep search for complex stuff, live capabilities using your camera or mic.
Wow, okay. Lots happening there.
And Anthropic's new models are mentioned too. Claude 4, with Opus 4 for coding and Sonnet 4 for reasoning. They highlighted improved tool use and conversational memory, so Claude can sort of build context over a longer chat.
Remembering things better. And AI agents, that trend seems to be exploding.
Yeah, autonomous programs doing complex tasks, huge market growth projected. They mentioned Manus AI from China, autonomous agent for workflow automation, handles complex stuff, can even work offline, uses multiple AI models together.
Like having different AI brains for different parts of the job.
Kind of. And Hagen's Avatar 4, pushing realistic AI avatars, further generating talking figures with gestures just from a photo and a script, blurring those lines.
Creepy but useful, maybe?
Potentially, yeah. And finally, Google launched the Notebook LM mobile app. That's their AI note-taking tool, now on phones. Lets you interact with dense documents on the go, get audio summaries even offline, interactive hosts based on your notes.
That sounds incredibly useful for anyone needing to digest complex info away from a computer.
Definitely. It just shows the sheer breadth of innovation, from the core AI engines to really specific, powerful tools.
Okay, so we've covered trends, the latest tech, but the newsletter also does this regular AI app, Spotlight, picks one tool to feature. This time, it was Hedra.
Right, Hedra, highlighted as an AI platform focused on content creation, video, images, audio.
So like an all-in-one AI creative toolkit, what specifically does it do?
Well, it bundles a few key things. AI video generation, making lifelike talking or singing characters from text or audio, image creation tools using models like Flux, Sonnet, Ideogram, and voice and audio tools, text-to-speech, voice cloning.
And it puts all that into one workspace with a library.
Yeah, integrated workspace. So for you listening, if you're creating marketing stuff, training materials, social media content, a tool like Hedra could potentially simplify things a lot, maybe replace several separate tools or complicated software.
Making that sophisticated multimedia stuff more accessible.
That's the idea. And they mention how to try it. There's a free plan. Gives you 300 credits a month, then paid options if you need more. The website's www.hedra.com. It's a good example of how this AI power gets packaged up for practical use.
Got it. Okay, and then finally, the issue points towards a way for listeners to actually, get better at using this stuff. The Learning Academy AI Members Program.
Yes, this is pitched as a structured way to learn how to apply AI specifically for business growth, for productivity.
And they're highlighting a specific deal right now, a spring 2025 special offer.
They are. The details mentioned are $69 up. They say that's 47% off the usual price, and it includes over $1,500 in free bonuses. Plus, a 30-day money-back guarantee is noted.
Okay, that's a pretty clear offer. And the value proposition is what? Teaching you the skills to use AI effectively.
Pretty much. Training on things like AI content creation, automation,
Yeah.
weekly live online training sessions, interviews with experts, a community aspect too.
So it's designed to bridge that gap between hearing about AI trends and actually knowing how to implement things in your own business.
That seems to be the goal. The call to action is straightforward. Learn more at www.learningacademy.ai, or there's a phone number, 737-381-2390. It connects the insights from the newsletter to a path for gaining practical skills.
Right, turning insights into action. Which brings us all the way back to where we started the newsletter itself, AI trends and insights for business.
Which, yeah, worth repeating, is completely free to subscribe to.
That's the key takeaway, maybe. Getting these kinds of actionable prompts, the trend analysis, the tool spotlights, learning opportunities, delivered regularly for free. That seems like a really simple, powerful way for you listening to stay on top of this incredibly fast-moving field.
Yeah, find ways to actually apply AI in your work. It acts like a filter, cutting through the noise, helping you see how AI can genuinely help you streamline things, grow the business, sharpen that competitive edge.
So that was our deep dive into the May 28th issue. We hit that useful Facebook prompt, looked at key trends in marketing, finance, the workforce, that big shift in online search.
Highlighted new tools from Google, Anthropic, others, spotlighted Hedra for content creation, and covered that Learning Academy AI offer.
It's pretty clear, just from this one issue, AI isn't some abstract future thing. It's impacting how business gets done right now.
Absolutely. Staying informed, like this newsletter helps you do, it's not just about keeping up. It's about finding those real opportunities to innovate and grow.
It really is. And, thinking about that shift we discussed, AI moving from just showing options to actively assembling answers, or that idea of AI delivering empathy at scale, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other fundamental aspect of business or even just communication currently feels purely human but might be the next thing AI helps us augment or scale up, something to chew on?
Thank you for that wonderful analysis and insights. This is Mike Paul, and I want to thank you for listening to our podcast deep dive into our latest newsletter issue. Be sure to connect with us by subscribing to the free newsletter and joining our Facebook group. We are here to help you understand and use AI to its full potential.